Namaste and welcome to Food for the Soul. Today we will talk about the benefits of Adhik Mas. Adhika is the extra month. It is considered the best of all months for the rejuvenation of body, mind and intelligence. We will study why do we call this month Purushottama, the best month. We will also try to understand why it becomes necessary to add this month in the Vedic calendar. We will also dive deeper into the activities that you can perform which will give you physical, mental and intellectual benefits in this month of Purushottam. We add this month because there is a difference between the solar year and the lunar year. Now, in the Vedic calendar, there are two time cycles. One is the solar year, which is 365 days. That is considered 1 year. And then the lunar calendar, if you look at the Vedic calendar, it goes from full moon to the full moon or new moon to the new moon, depending on the place. But it is around 10 or 11 days less than the solar year. So it's about 354 days compared to 365 days. In 3 years, this gap goes up to 1 year. Now you need to balance both the calendars. So an extra month is added to the lunar calendar and that brings it on par with the solar calendar. Now this month has a beautiful story. Every month is a personality. In the Vedas, in the Ayurvedic teachings, yogic teachings, spiritual teachings, everyone is a personality. Mother Earth is a personality. The moon is a personality. Saturn, the Mars planet, all these planets are various personalities. So is time. Even the different constellations. So they are all personalities. So this month is also a personality. And this extra month was as the Lord Brahma Ji was creating everything. So all the months were created. There was creation of early morning, so that is called Brahma Muhurta, which is considered the best time for meditation. There was creation of daylight, daytime, evening, all these things. And eventually there was creation of these constellations, months, and when this extra month was created, because it was not in the regular routine, somehow it had a special purpose. So in the beginning, it was left alone. It was considered Masa, means just an extra month, just to fit in there, just to fit the time scale. It did not have much significance. And because she was a personality, she went to the Lord and she said, I am being ignored by everyone because they consider me just somebody who fits in something, who doesn't have a real purpose. So in the beginning it was not defined, and that's the beauty where something amazing that has to come, it begins with an absolutely difficult situation. Even Ramayana was written after Valmiki felt the pain when the crane was killed, and that created so much pain in his heart. There was a beautiful creation that came out. Even the Bhagavad Gita was spoken in the Mahabharata war in a great difficult situation. The Masa, Adhik Masa, so she was feeling very disturbed and she went to the Lord Vishnu, and said, please help. Nobody gives me respect. Nobody finds me purposeful. I don't know what to do. And because she had taken shelter of the Lord, and that is also in the yoga texts, in the Bhagavad Gita, we find that surrender is the ultimate goal of the yogi, and she surrenders. Samadhi siddhir ishwar pranidhana. Even in the yoga text it says the highest perfection you can get, you can attain by surrender to that Supreme Lord. As she surrendered, Lord Vishnu said, because you have taken shelter of me, I will give you a special blessing which nobody else gets, or very rarely somebody gets. So among these spiritual planets, it is said there is Vaikuntha, means a place without anxiety, the kingdom of God. There are different levels, and the highest level is called as Goloka Vrindavana, where the beautiful Lord Krishna is playing. He is enjoying all the time, and that's what every spiritual aspirant, every yogi, every devotee wants to attain that place. And Lord Vishnu takes Malamasa, Adhika Masa, to the doorstep of Goloka Vrindavana, where she is still in a prayerful mood to find her purpose. And she sees Krishna and she surrenders. So Lord Krishna asks, why are you distressed? And she says, I want to find my purpose. So Lord Krishna says, because you have surrendered, I will bless you. That you will have all my opulence. You will be as opulent as me. And because she is blessed by the supreme Purushottama, that is Krishna, she becomes all opulent. And this month becomes the best of all months. And in this month, in the Bhavishyottara Purana, it is said, if you can perform some spiritual activity, then this month will give you the best benefits, the highest benefits. So what is it? So Bhavishyottara Purana says, if you can eat once a day. Now I want to share something with you. Here we can bring in Ayurveda, because the goal of Ayurveda is also to attain a higher level of consciousness. The goal of Ayurveda is not just to gain good health. So good health is not just physical. Good health is spiritual, intellectual. The highest healing we can attain is when we elevate our consciousness free from envy, anger, attachment, madness. If you can use this month to give up the most difficult bad habit that you had, then this month will give you amazing benefits. Because you can work towards it. And how do you do that? In Ayurveda it says that if you have some bad habit, if you have a bad outlook, for example, so this is all a culmination of all your previous activities. And this is stored in your karma, in your subtle body, in your nadis. And you have to free the nadis. So when you chant a mantra, when you perform a meditation, the person who can absorb the meditation, who can absorb the mantra, is the one whose channels are all clear. You absorb those wonderful vibrations through your channels, through your nadis. So that is why in Uddhava Gita, Krishna explains to Uddhava, before you chant the mantra, clear your nadis. Before we do any meditation, in the morning, we clean ourselves. We clean the physical channels, we clean our mental channels, and then we perform pranayama, which cleans up the prana passageways, and then you are able to meditate. So the first passageway that you can clear is the physical passageway. So eating one time a day, the more you indulge in physical eating, you will not be able to focus on the intellectual self. From the past 2 months, I have eaten vegetables only one time a day. I cook them in ghee, and I love cooking them in ghee and eating our fresh ghee, which is the best quality that we find. We also have herbal ghees. And whenever I feel intensely hungry, I take 2 spoons of ashwagandha ghee. And mornings, I take a little bit of chia lemonades. That's it, to keep myself hydrated. And my goal starting this month is just to have that one meal. Because I have prepared last 2 months with my intense yoga practice. So as you progress in yoga, your hunger reduces, because you can control yourself, control your hunger with the prana. If you give it time, you can survive on one meal a day. But you have to be very calm, because hunger is more mental than physical. So Purushottam month gives you that strength. What is the best strength we can have? Intellectual focus, where we are able to perform intellectual activities for a long time in the day without spending a lot of time to eat, sleep. You have to minimize. So add a little bit of nuts, add green vegetables. You need plenty of potassium, you need ghee. So because when you cook with ghee and take a little bit of ghee, ghee gives you vitamin A, D, K, and all the fats that you need. In fact, ghee also gives you the proteins that you need. So eating the purest food, vegetables. You can have some nuts, because almond, macadamia nuts, then walnuts, pecans, so all these nuts. So they give you all the magnesium, minerals, even plenty of potassium, vitamin D. They are very beneficial. All your nutritional needs are met, and that's what you need when you fast. And rest of the time, drink plenty of water. And it takes 3 days for your body to switch from sugar metabolism to fat metabolism. So your body can either run on sugar or fat. You can completely detox. What happens? In 3 to 4 days, your body begins to pull all the bad fats, clears all your channels, and you will find that you will be able to perform this activity very easily. At the same time, you need to keep yourself physically active, and that's where yoga comes in, because yoga gives you prana. After my yoga practice, I don't feel hungry for the next 1 or 2 hours, because the deep breathing in the asana pranayama practice gives you all the prana you need to sustain. You don't need to eat immediately, whereas exercise you want to eat immediately. The next thing that you can do is reading scriptures. So when you're feeling light, you have an intense hunger. Where is the intense hunger? In the mind. And if you absorb, right, you detach from food, then you absorb. So detachment is the first thing you need to get from food. Even Bhishma Deva says in giving instructions to Yudhishthir, he says, if you want to reduce sleep, if you want to conquer sleep, eat less. And when you do that, what happens? Your body is not overheated, there is not too much sugar, your body channels are open, you need less sleep when you perform deep breathing, meditation, and when you read scriptures, when you chant mantras. It also opens up your channels, and even better, because you are not heavy, you are lighter, they enter deeper into you. Scientifically also it is proven. Keep yourself calm. If you really want to conquer, then know what is the most important. It takes 2 to 3 weeks. And interestingly, this month begins on the new moon. So that's a new beginning. That's when Vata is at the highest. So you can be very active. 10 years ago, I was detected with type 2 diabetes. And I was trying to find a cure because of traveling a lot, overeating, not practicing. It went on for 5-6 years. As I studied Ayurveda, I realized that if you come to mode of goodness, any disease can be reversed. And when I was able to control my diet, practice yoga, open up my channels, chant mantras, meditate, activate all the chakras, it just went away. It was an amazing achievement. And I can tell you, if you really understand and practice this well, within a month, you can really channelize, you can conquer your prana, you can heal your prana, you can really feel that change. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one who controls his senses and the mind, he becomes eligible for a higher consciousness. So take this opportunity, practice this whole month, and even in Chandrayana fasting, there are different methods. So one of those methods to purify the body, to overcome any intellectual drawback, is to eat once a day for a month. You have a fixed time, you eat at that time, and that's it. And if you are able to do that for a month, especially in this month, it is said that a lot of your mental drawbacks, intellectual drawbacks, can be overcome. So all these wonderful opportunities to fast, to purify the mind, to understand your Ayurvedic nature, and eat a food that balances your Ayurvedic nature. And that balance, physical balance, brings about a mental balance also. At the same time, you need physical activities that purify you. So that is why yoga purifies your channels. And then finally, the icing on the cake is the reflection of the self. As you purify the body, the mind, intelligence, you are able to feel the pure vibrations, the pure energy of the soul, because your intelligence is purified, your mind is purified, your body is balanced. And that's when you're able to reflect within. So use this month and understand yourself, dive deeper, minimize. If you read the story of Dhruva, the great yogi from the Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll be inspired of how you can generate energy with minimum food and by deeper breathing, by pranayama. With a real desire, your mind, your mental energy converts into physical energy. So see this mystical energy acting and see the change in yourself. Thank you all so much. See you all in the next video.